pretty cool around here if you've never been. Just
EJs.
Yeah, jets. And also over there, some fighter jets that I've seen better times, but still quite nice to see on the way in. Look at that.
Sort of MiGs or something.
MiGs, yeah. You never know what's going to be in here.
CVX.
Oh, yeah.
DV6.
DV6. It's a cool shed, isn't it? And a Countach or two. And the Spada. Excellent.
Aha! How you doing? There
Hello.
it is. The
Yes.
biggest engine lift I've ever seen.
Yes, our modest little
Yes.
engine apparatus.
I haven't seen those on Machine Mart or anything though.
No,
So,
we bought it from the Navy for bringing up sunken nuclear submarines. It's ex-military
Good effort.
stock.
Good
Yes,
effort, yeah.
but
Wonderful.
well, this is not too shabby either.
No,
is
it's
it?
not actually. Well, I had to find a spare, you know. So, so what if I haven't got the Countach? No, it's very special.
It's quite interesting to, because there's a lot of classic cars that are worth more than you can pay for a new car.
Yes, yes.
And
This
it's funny.
is getting up there though. Yes.
What is this actually?
You change from 3 million. I don't know. It's 3 million plus taxes in euros and a few extras on top. So 3.6 and whatever the euros, 3 million, isn't it? Let's just say, let's call it 3 million amongst friends.
Wow.
Something like that. It's a very special thing, actually.
It's wonderful.
First of all, I'm very grateful to the owner because he's left it with me for a couple of weeks and I'm sort of living with it, as you do.
It's a tough job, etc.
I tell you, well, you've got a tough job, haven't you? There you are. What have you done to it?
Well, I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah.
We got a good price for the carburettors.
I only said change the oil.
My eBay account has never been as busy.
No.
And we have changed the headlamp bulb, which is what you brought it in for, wasn't it?
Everything's off, isn't it? Everything's completely off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you found any horrors on the way?
No, nothing. No. No, nothing particularly.
Good.
No, it's all good. I mean, we know there's a lot of oil around it, but that's
Right.
okay. We can clean, we leave it like that so we can find where it's coming from, basically.
So you've kept it dirty
Yes.
for it to come out.
Yeah.
God, it's a long way down to those plugs, isn't it?
It
I
is.
never realised
Yeah.
how far down they were.
Adjusting the tappets in situ is a bit interesting. That's why this thing's useful, because we don't want to lean on the aluminium bodywork too
Right.
much.
Yeah.
Because I don't know whether, a lot of Countach's, the grills here actually have
Yes.
cracks in the corners.
Oh, what, these here?
Yeah, because the weight of the grill, the inertia of it causes the aluminium to move when you go over bumps.
Really? Oh,
So,
really? Just
yeah,
that?
Yeah.
God.
So
I've got a little crack on the airbox here.
Right,
Which I've
that
seen a
same
lot
thing.
Of them.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, airboxes particularly, actually.
Right.
Yeah, just the weight of the thing.
Just, oh no, sorry, we're talking about engines, but the bodywork on this, could you ever buy a rear wing for a Countach? Is it an actual moulded part?
They're made over wooden bucks, like a sort of Aston Martin DB5 or whatever. And it is just made from sheet, and then it's like rashers of bacon, where the two angular bits meet.
Yeah.
They literally weld them and grind
Did
them
they?
down.
What, here? Just along the,
Well, not
wherever? I
Not
don't know.
some of the folds, not these, but for instance, this is impossible to wheel in aluminium.
Right.
So it's
too
joined
sharp.
up.
Right.
And it's seam welded and then ground off and leaded. I mean,
Good.
this is Italian artisan work
Yeah.
at its best.
You don't realise,
because it's
do you?
wafer thin. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yes, I know. I'm always really nervous of it. You get a metal roof, don't you? A steel roof, I think.
Yeah.
So that's the strongest bit. And there's the chassis on this, with tubular chassis, isn't it? That people
is.
don't realise on a Countach. So rads will stay in,
Yes.
and you've got it hooked on the back. So you take some bolts out here.
Yes. We've got it. Just ready to lift. That's where we put them round there.
The gear lever is still there.
It
so,
is.
Right, that goes.
Yes.
Just like the
that
Spada
goes-
again.
Exactly.
What were they thinking?
It's Lamborghini didn't make their gear levers easily removable. You just point and shoot when you're putting it back in the car,
Yeah.
And I hope everything lines up again, which of course it does.
I'm sure it will.
What could possibly go wrong?
Indeed. And so, an hour 2 day?
To get it out?
Yeah, from here.
I don't think so, no. I think we're in pretty good shape once we get the lads involved.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fairly quick.
Can't wait to see it. There's 2 bolts, isn't it, at the back?
2 bolts.
Yeah.
Give us a big screwdriver. This one's tight.
We don't think this has been out, do we? This engine. This would
Well,
be
how many miles has the car done actually?
whatever it says. I can't remember. What do we say? Was
It's
it
in
70?
kilometres, isn't it, the
Yeah,
odometer?
70.
Right.
68,000 kilometres.
It must have been out because
Yeah.
no way does a Countach clutch last that length of time.
Oh, you have to take the whole thing out to do a clutch.
Clutch.
Oh, it's had a clutch.
Yes.
It has had a clutch. I know that's in the history.
This will have been probably out 2 or 3 times.
With that sort of mileage.
It's all in. I mean, you'll know this. It's all in how you use
Yes.
the clutch. You almost think of it as a switch
Yeah.
because otherwise they just last no time. You know,
Right.
if you slip them.
Yeah. Well, I can never get over. There's pictures of them spinning the wheels on these, and I think, well, that's just you do it once or twice, can't you? And that's about it. Yeah.
Have we got the bolts out?
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
Is there someone underneath?
No, not yet.
No. Right.
One of the young lads disappeared.
Right.
Are we on the gear stick? Carry on. Carry on. Right, I'll do. Take it up now, but then. When you're ready, it's clear. Pull it back. Jack down, Alex. Keep going. Keep going.
It's gone.
Keep going. Okay.
Is it still on the jack there, Alex? Underneath. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Just be careful now, the wood might slip off the jack.
Okay.
You're at the bulkhead there, Ian.
Yes. Plenty of room here. Yeah. It's nice and free. I can move it. So. Are you all right there, Alex? Yeah. Okay. Yes, Alex. We better edit that bit out.
Yeah.
That's going up.
Is it literally vertical? It's going to come out on there.
Comes out quickly.
I just thought you put another strap on the front, but you're not. You really are just going to hook it out.
Yes. Are we almost clear of the diff there?
Yeah, it's ready.
Hang on.
Come back now.
Yeah, I was going to say it's close to the roof, so yeah, great.
Isn't it chucking a load of oil out, or is it drained? No, we drained the gearbox, didn't we?
Drained everything.
Okay.
That's just from the engine,
Oh, okay. Right.
from the engine cooling, basically. So, can it go back a bit at all?
Yeah, go miles.
Yeah, that's it.
Come back a fair bit. You want
Yeah.
more?
That's all right for the moment.
Go on, mate. What might happen here is you might have to go forward a bit to make sure this is central there.
Yeah, that's fine, just say one.
We've got plenty of room at the front here again now.
Staggering.
Yeah.
Go forward a bit. Yep, forward. Forward again.
Yeah.
A little bit forward, yeah?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, Lord.
You think it's going to be too high, but actually it's
You
not.
need the whole thing, don't you?
Yeah. Look at that, it's almost all the way up.
It's crazy.
Lovely.
Look at that one.
Well, leave that for now because we've got to get it. Got it?
Yeah. There we are.
There you go. Extracted. What I can't get over is how far back where the drive shafts come out. How, it's,
Yes.
it's right at the back, isn't it? Which you'd expect, but they've kept it as tight as they can and
Yes.
pushed the engine and gearbox as much into the chassis.
Well, when you think you're sat here in the car,
Yeah.
you know, so that just the bulkhead there between you and the engine, it really is a transmission tunnel, isn't it?
It's staggering. It's art, isn't it, really?
It is. Yeah. And this is the earlier Countaches had the ribbed sump along here, same as there, for oil cooling.
Side as well.
Yeah, to cool the transmission.
Right.
But the QVs then went onto this smooth. That's how you can tell a competition Ferrari,
Yeah.
because the competition Ferrari gearboxes had ribs on like that, whereas the road Ferrari gearboxes are smooth cast.
Smooth cast like this.
Yeah, because they found it was overcooling the gearbox, so they didn't need to put them on. That's
Right.
why they changed it. It is a piece of sculpture, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Well, that didn't take long, really, isn't it? I mean, £80 an hour, 40 quid, take an internet, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Half an hour.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm just looking if it's damp. There is dampness here. I don't know what's on there, but that's a pipe. But that just looks, in that area, it looks fairly damp.
Yeah, this is this gasket here is leaking on the timing cover area, which is or it could just be the crankshaft seal, which would be much better news.
Was
Really.
it?
Well, it means we don't have to take the engine off the gearbox. Actually split the engine from here. If it is just the crankshaft front seal, as it is at this end of the engine, that's a lot easier. So we'll live in hope on that one. Quite a lot of antifreeze powder in these.
Yes, I was looking at that. I mean, I have changed it several times, but
Looks like has it had red antifreeze in
yeah.
it? Oh, okay. Yeah. That's just the sort of thing that would love to gum up your radiator.
Yeah.
Or
it
Z
would, wouldn't
in
it?
the case of the Countach.
Yeah. Well, looking here, that looks to me a bit damp on the head gasket.
It is. It is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Looks very dry here.
Yeah. You mean the gearbox?
Well, yes, sod that, isn't it? Yeah.
Funny that, isn't it?
If you don't
Yes.
put oil in it, that's what happens. Yeah.
Yes. But I'll just grab a rag.
So, plan of attack, you're obviously going to have to look at the oil leaks here.
Yes.
Okay, so diagnose that, and then take gearbox off and bell housing as well.
Correct.
You take
Yeah.
it here and then
Split it. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. And you've got a shaft with a clamp running through here.
yeah.
So the power comes through the clutch here, into the top of the gearbox,
yeah,
down to the cluster beneath,
yeah,
along here, right the way in a long prop shaft to the differential here,
here.
with the pinion gear there, and then the crown wheel assembly in there.
Good Lord.
So
That's separate oil in there.
it is, yeah. That's the one with 6.5 litres of
Oh,
oil.
that's what you were saying. Yeah, yeah. Where do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know where to finish up.
But
Can't
no,
remember.
it's it's not bad at all. I mean, I think that's probably the lion's share of the oil leak is that crankshaft seal
Right.
there. We'll see when we get the pulley off, but
Right.
I mean, it's not too shabby, to be honest.
Right, is it? Well, we know it goes well, so that's fine. It's the other bit.
Yeah, as you can see, with the engine out, you can actually see a lot more of the chassis frame.
Yeah.
It's the first,
tubes.
because there's a photograph which I can give you actually of the Countach chassis. It's quite a work of art. In fact,
It's in the handbook, actually.
Is it?
There is a picture. I stumbled because I was trying to find a picture of it. Say, oh, you ought to look at this. And it's in the handbook. There is a picture.
I went to Bob Wallace's funeral about
Yeah.
5 years ago,
Yeah.
and there's a roundabout in Sant'Agata dedicated to him,
Yeah.
and it's got a Countach chassis in
Is
the
it
middle of
really?
it, on a podium. Could only happen in Italy. Really.
Yeah, that's the heat, isn't it, off the exhaust? Your side isn't particularly as good as mine. This
Yeah.
side.
Well, this
was-
side, yeah, it's just burned the paint off.
Yeah.
We can obviously treat and clean it up while it's out. But it's
Well, it's so much stiffer. The backbone of a Countach compared to a Miura, isn't
Oh,
it?
yes.
It is completely different
yeah.
car from
And
that point of view.
the suspension's also more sturdy as well. You know.
Yeah, I'm sure they still had racing connotations. You know, or they still wanted to do something.
Quite possibly,
It never,
actually.
never
yeah.
actually happened. Just looking at the shape of that, you know. And it's also, I always think of this design, it led to the four-wheel drive because it's so easy. You just put a
Exactly.
drivetrain on there, suddenly you get a four-wheel drive Diablo.
Yeah,
It's with no
exactly.
change.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then that's lived through to that
Yes.
monster, which has exactly the same layout as a Countach. Doesn't
Really?
It? Yeah. There, the gearbox sits between the driver and passenger, just like this, and power comes through, and it goes through the sump to a rear diff. So, I mean, there's always a list of things to do, but I love to do the spring dampers on
Yes.
this car as well, just because they made such a difference on the Espada.
One of the questions I'm going to ask you is, do you want us to do a cylinder leak down test on the engine, or would you rather just leave that?
Well, I would say it ought to be determined on the gearbox how bad the gearbox
Right.
is. And if there's a lot of time and other things, and we're into, you know, something major, you know, we might look at having
Yeah.
a rethink. It's just how much is in the gearbox. I just want to know, what the
Where we're
spend
at.
is on that.
Yeah, sure. No, I understand that. I'm not trying to.
Yeah. Oh, it's
I'd be delighted if they're all right.
yes. And it could, live up here. Well, I just have to keep the Chiron a little longer, you know. It's move up. So,
Well, we are very
higher
busy at the
charges.
moment.
No, that was amazing coming out there. I just couldn't get over that vertically out. I had no idea.
Yeah, and it's
It must be a challenge. I mean, for a work, if you've not done it before, it's a bit of a shocker, isn't it, to come out like that?
yeah.
Yeah.
There is a knack, you know. There's a knack to it. I mean, it's quite a big gearbox, considering it's only 5-speed plus reverse.
Yeah.
It's quite a big box, that.
Yeah.
And of course, this is direct. It's not cables or
No.
levers or hydraulic. That is a direct
Yeah.
action there.
So,
So
that's good. Okay. Well, I guess next stage you're not going to clean it off. You're going to
Pull the gearbox
pull the gearbox off, and then check what's going on there.
yeah,
And then you report back.
absolutely.
There you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, watching the extraction of a V12 Countach come out. Not as I expected. Huge, great frame. I now see that is exactly what you need if you own a Countach. You want to take your engine out. I didn't realise you had to take the whole thing out to do a clutch either. So, yeah, I've learnt something today. Hope you've learnt it as well. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, keep watching, keep subscribing. More videos coming on very soon.